and there is no mixed designs, and there is no foundation, and very groundwater exploration was also not there. Still, Dhauleshwaram has been constructed in 1850. Now it is also functioning. We should be proud of the Dhauleshwaram engineer who has proposed and completed at the target level of 3 years. So this is one of the proud for every civil engineer, neither in this nation, worldwide. Now 10 lakh acres of Ayacut is being irrigated in Delta, where there was a suffering for drinking, and 50% of the area was famine. There was no water for agriculture. But Sir Arthur Cotton has developed a science. What is engineer? He has proved as an engineer what is value of engineer and what is the value of irrigation. Now, coming to the point, Prakasham barrage is also completed in those days, and that is also giving very good result. About 10 lakh acres of delta is being developed. It is more than hundreds of years. Why the failures? After 150 years, lot of technology has developed, lot of science has been developed, and geo exploration also developed. Even after all these things, it is very, very painful, especially failure of Kaleshwaram. Why failure of Kaleshwaram has been occurred, and why there is a commission, Supreme Court retired just commission is required for engineers anywhere in the world. So it has brought down our images of civil engineer. So my request is, my background is only a civil engineer, worked about 30 years in the irrigation department, and as a supervisor I worked as a junior engineer, and I worked as a deputy executive engineer. I worked finally executive engineer. Even after my executive engineer retirement, I worked as a consultancy for 10 years, wherein proposed so many barrages and constructed minor irrigation tanks. And I learned something from the practical, something I did my Master of Engineering, and my mixed design is M90 grade. In 1990, I have developed M90 grade, and the grade is fiber reinforced super strength concrete. So our Badruddin Garu was my guide, and Gopal Raju Garu also my guide, Shantaram were also my guide when I completed my ME from Usmania in 1990. So with the background, we have developed this installation of Buddha statue in Hussain Sagar, and pedestal concrete was being designed by experts, and pedestal and colloidal concrete pedestal was being built with colloidal concrete based method, and it was being completed. So why this type of failures and other things I can explain smaller with my knowledge. The originally regarding Pranahita Chevella, it is one of the important project which is giving about 15 lakh acres for irrigation for North Telangana. Now it is totally not satisfying 90% of the Ayacut. Why 90% when 1 lakh crores is being sent? So technically we are responsible. We should not blame X, Y, Z on the any other part. Our boundaries is to be respected, and boundaries are to be completed as per the professional. So professionals are more important than anybody. Those people will come and go, but professional, once a person do mistake, that will be continuing. It is shameful, I can say, as an engineer. We should say shameful. It is been failed due to engineer's reason. Some other reason is different, but the investigation is also more important. I can say something about the Medigadda. Yes, engineers are important for the decision. A chief engineer is important for designs. Once he signs on the design, it will be executed. And once the execution is being done, then the chief engineer has to 1 minute, sir. One chief engineer has to design, accept with so many parameters. So my request is, there are so many practical subjects are there. So finally, with all the experiences, causing 1 lakh crores, Malana Sagar is 50 TMC. Where is the need for putting 50 TMC of reservoir? Only 20 TMC is sufficient. It is a balancing reservoir. And there are so many things, labs are there. So we request whatever it is there, we have designed. Finally, after Kaleshwaram, with my 20 years of experience in the field of barrages, we have completed one alternative solution to Kaleshwaram and one alternative solution to Maharashtra submergence, one alternative solution to avoid Chaprala wild animal forest. So minimum requirement for the barrages are, we should respect the regime flow. As per IS 6966, we should respect the regime flow conditions and minimum width of the river, and also foundation should be satisfied for the barrages. So all these conditions are not being satisfied. And this thing, I will tell you, sir, this barrage, this is a pranayita. This we call it, it is a pranayita. And one Varda, one Venganga, joining at one confluence which is near Tumidiyatti. And below the Tumidiyatti, after 1.5 kilometers, the proposed a barrage in 2008 and 9 to divert the flows by gravity about 160 TMC and to irrigate 16 lakh acres of the then 7 districts of Telangana. This project was constructed, proposed, and 38,000 crores was the estimate. And they have completed most of the packages, partly or fully, up to 27 packages up to Chevella. They spent, the then government, Congress government, from 2009 to 14, they spent more than 9,000 crores for the project. But the main proposal where they have constructed the barrage, foundation is perfectly correct. Location is 90 degrees to the river flow. But Chaprala forest was affecting, Chaprala wild animal sanctuary was affecting this barrage. About 4,000 crores, 4,000 acres were submerging. So this was the major cause. The Maharashtra government objected for 5 years, they are not allowed to start that work. And that resulted, without barrage, there is no subject of diversion of any water. By the time 9,000 crores were sent and this was not been settled, finalized. Finally, after forming of the Telangana, upstream side of the proposed barrage, which at the confluence point, 1.5 kilometers upstream side, they have proposed, accepted the Maharashtra government, Telangana, formed Mr. KCR and Chief Minister and Maharashtra Chief Minister signed on the proposal with minimum submergence of 500 acres instead of 4,000 acres. So the submergence of 500 acres are more satisfied for Maharashtra, but it is technically not suitable for the location. The suitability of the location should be the regime flow conditions. And the Varda is different. Venganga, 2 major rivers are joining at one place. Once we construct a barrage, the turbulent will be developed. Next, there is a skew crossing at Venganga. There is a skew crossing. The skew crossing should not be preferred anywhere less than 20 degrees, is maximum 20. But 70 degrees is skew crossing of this river. And moreover, the length of the barrage they have proposed at 2 places, which resulted 6.4 kilometers of length of the barrage. And economically it costs 4,500 crores. So 4,000, and Maharashtra is affecting about 1500 acres of submergence. So, with all these things, as an experience myself, I have given a representation to the Honorable Minister. Sir, I wanted to take up the alternative service on the Pranayata river. I have given voluntary service, voluntary. I don't want any work order or money or anything. Voluntarily, I have accepted. The government has accepted to do the alternative service for the interest of respectable profession, as well as if there is any alternative is not are there. So I took my own instruments, surveyed for 15 days at the location. Finally, we have completed 9 kilometers below the original proposal, wherein instead of 6.4 kilometers, we are getting only 1.4 kilometers river width, and there is no submergence of lands of Maharashtra, and Chaprala wild animals is not affected. Only 2,500 crores is sufficient for the barrage with foundation, is totally suitable rocky foundation. We have prepared a booklet and submitted to the government for consideration of these two. So instead of you compare as per DPR, you compare the original proposed alignment of 6.5 kilometers and this, which results minimum saving of 2,000 crores. 2,000 crores with fully technical without effect of Maharashtra. So, and we can divert 160 TMC with 11 meters lift. Again, there is a canal excavated, and this canal is to be, we are linking 8.3 kilometers excavated canal kalputunnam. And we are utilizing the existing canal, and we are utilizing 2 TMC. We are satisfying 160 TMC without Kaleshwaram. So, I have completed and submitted a booklet to the government also. We have surveyed with all staff and department at site, and we have completed the project within 1 month, and 4 months back we have submitted. We did not take much time also, and we have given designs for pump houses, we have given designs for the barrages, we have designed all requirement for the barrages, ISO department, and also totally satisfying all the barrage conditions. This is the work I have done. And I request further also what Sir has told, wonderful lecture Sir has given. Building technology is also very important for every mix design. There is no control over the mix, concrete mix people in the private people we have seen. There is no proper control, and everything building technology is also very important. And for a common man, only architectural elevation, this and that they are explaining. But structurally how best it can be done. And where some people are using robo sand, some people are using some sand, X sand, Y sand. And there is no control over the quality control. That will result so many cracks and other things. So we respect. The concrete technology is also heart of the subject for India. And there is no control over the quality control is more important for the concrete. So I respect all the professionals. We should conduct seminars, and we should have a separate meetings like this, and we should develop the concrete technology and the importance of the technology for multi-storied buildings like barrages. Barrages is also very important. One, foundations. Next, piers. Deck slab. So many factors are coming. Entire barrage, 99% of the barrage is being completing with concrete technology only. So we should classify, and we should have a learning, and designing is also very important. And foundations also, bearing capacity is also important. So everything should be analyzed perfectly, then only things will be more safe. Hundreds of years, because a small mistake or big mistake is being done in barrages, it will become an irreparable nuisance years together, repairs like barrages, like Medigadda. What is the fate of Medigadda? Sir has told for 3 years. Really, there is no solution. Sinking ఆ సెవెంత్ బ్లాక్లో అది బ్లాస్ట్ చేయన్నా తీయన్నా అదొక పెద్ద న్యూసెన్స్, ఇదొక పెద్ద న్యూసెన్స్. అప్పుడే కొద్దిగా మనం అటెన్షన్గా ఉంటే ఈరోజు మినిమం ఒక 200 TMSకి బదులు ఒక 150 TMS కానీ 100 TMS తీసుకోగలిగితే కూడా ఒక 10 లక్షల ఎకరాలకు వస్తుండే ఇప్పుడు. మరి 10 లక్షల ఎకరాలు ఎందుకు వస్తలేదు? అది ఎన్డీఎస్ఏ వద్దన్నారు. అది ఎట్లున్నదో అట్లా పెట్టాలి. పోనీ అది ఎట్లున్నదో అట్లా పెట్టాలి. మరి ఎక్కడ ఈ వాటర్ ఎక్కడ తీసుకుపోవాలి? మరి మేడిగడ్డకు పోవాలన్నా మరి ఎక్కడ ఇది మల్లన్న సాగర్కి పోవాలంటే ఎట్లా పోవాలి? ఎల్లంపల్లి నుంచి పోవాలి. ఎల్లంపల్లి నుంచి మిడ్ మానేర్కి వరకు పోయేదాకా ఆయకట్టు ఓన్లీ 1.5 lakhs ఉన్నది. మరి ఆ 1.5 lakhs బదులు 18 lakhs కావాలి మనకు. 18 lakhs కావాలి. మిడ్ మానేరు, రంగనాయక్ సాగర్ పోవాలి. రంగనాయక్ సాగర్ తర్వాత మల్లన్న సాగర్ పోవాలి. మల్లన్న సాగర్ నుంచి కొండపోచమ్మకు పోవాలి. కొండపోచమ్మ నుంచి గంధమల్లకు పోవాలి. గంధమల్ల నుంచి బస్వాపూర్ పోవాలి. మరి కొండపోచమ్మకు 618 లెవెల్, ఎల్లంపల్లి 150 లెవెల్. మరి 618 నుంచి 150కి ఇక ఫైనల్లీ లిఫ్ట్ ఈజ్ మస్ట్. లిఫ్ట్ అనేది లేనిది ఎక్కడ మనకు తెలంగాణలో మనం హైయెస్ట్ మన రీజియన్ 600 లెవెల్. మరి వాటర్ వచ్చేది 150 లెవెల్. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు కంప్లీట్ with respectfully design using technology, concrete technology. Everybody should inspection చేయాలి. ఒక ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాలేజీలో ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ అందరూ ఒక ఒపీనియన్ ఇవ్వాలి. అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ది టైమ్ ఫర్ ఆల్ ది ఇంజనీర్స్ గెట్ టుగెదర్. ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాలేజ్ అనుకోండి, చీఫ్ ఇంజనీర్స్ వర్కింగ్ అనుకోండి, ఎవ్రీబడి షుడ్ జాయిన్ అండ్ డిస్కస్ అండ్ వీ షుడ్ గివ్ ఏ సొల్యూషన్ టు ది గవర్నమెంట్ in future. This is my experience.